Hi, my name is Angie Spencer, and I'm here in Seattle, Washington right now, actually just south of Seattle, Washington in Puyallup. This minibus right behind us right here is filled with paramilitary police officers in full riot gear. This is a peaceful protest, and so these officers are now blocking this vision of what's going on, but that minivan back there is full of officers in full riot gear, and they all just got out, and then they are coming and preparing to come down this way with us. So they're about to go full force as far as pepper spray, batons, and some different things. So, and they're working with this freight company right here to block our vision of seeing them go in. And so the police are using this freight company to use their so here we can see that the police officers, they're all gearing up. So I'm gonna flip this around and see if I can.
We got the SUV to block our view.
Exactly. So this guy here has been watching this as well. And so do you want to just say what you've seen?
Yeah, well, we were actually about to leave because the tribal members asked the people protesting to move away from the gear and to stop. But that's really not going to stop a global corporation from actually punishing any dissidents. So what they're using the military, which is our police force now, and they're going to send a message. And all these guys are into riot gear for putting these water protectors who risk their time and their lives for a cause, and they're gonna send them to jail, and with riot gear, by the way.
Yeah. So what did you see as far as riot gear? And
so they had like the mask, they had the huge stick, they had all the plastic stuff to protect themselves, and they came out with several like bags with stuff. And so what happened is that the paddy wagon was there and reversed, and it's not there, and now it's back between those two semis, and it's actually they're all strategizing right now. So I don't know why they have to be in secrecy when pretty much this protest ended.
Right. And it just seems very disproportionate that police would show up with that kind of paramilitary gear on. Yeah. It seems really so he's got some of it, but not all. Yeah. But he definitely dressed down.
There's another one right here. He's got the full, he's got the full thing.
Mm-hmm.
See that? Mm-hmm. Interesting. That kind of looks like a army vehicle right behind them.
It does. It does look like a very it's like a military truck. So, but it's just very inappropriate for what's going on here, and
it's the militarization of the U.S. That's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, I tell my students if they when they look at global news, when they look at Latin America, when you see all the police, it's coming here, and this is exactly what's happening. And so I don't know when we're going to get that wake-up call that we're no longer this free country. We're becoming Latin America, and the first thing that happens is the militarization of the police.
Right against peaceful people acting within their civil rights.
Yes.
And it's particularly easy for the police to brutalize black and brown bodies. And that's what we see all across this country as a phenomenon, and that's part of really what this is amounting to. And so this is highlighting racism. We can call ourselves a progressive state, we can call ourselves a progressive city, but
it's a genocidal state that is actually for the global corporations. It's not there for the environment, it's not there for the people, it's not there for indigenous groups. It's there to be the global police force for extraction of the last amount of resources in our world.
Right. And let's just think about taxpayer money and all these officers right now on the clock paying for that. We're paying for this. We're paying for all of these cop cars.
See that bag? There's like each one of them is taking all those bags.
They're all bringing in their pepper spray bags.
Yeah.
With all of their chemical warfare. More chemical warfare on indigenous people on their land.
Yeah.
On their treaty land. And so there's such a disconnect where people don't realize that is what's going on. This is what contemporary genocide is.
This is what's happening right now. So what's happening? So like what's happening in the so-called drug war in Colombia? It's actually what's happening is that drug war money is actually used to support the government of Colombia to actually displace indigenous people from their land, so companies like this can use resource extraction. And that money is also used with Chiquita Banana. And so you should read Drug War Capitalism. We'll tell you.
Thank you. Yeah, I know this was amazing information. See you guys.
Yeah.
Thanks, you as well. So we're gonna walk down here a little bit. So, they brought in a lot of disproportionately armed oil police, and they're all gearing up, and so you can see that the workers are still working. They're working here 24/7, just like the Dakota Access Pipeline. They never stopped working, and here they work 24 hours around the clock as well. Always, in a good way. So you can see the line of police that's come up here, and they've made a presence. They've formed a line. Earlier we were standing around there and on the equipment, leaning up against it and everything, and so now they've created a barrier.
Mostly KSL. They've been running this one.
And this is taxpayer money working for the oil police. This is what our taxpayer money is doing, protecting big oil.
Well, this is fracked gas.
It's true. This is a fracked gas pipeline, but it's the same people that invest in it. It's the same fossil fuel industry that our taxpayer money is going to protect. And this is happening all over our country.
Take a day to catch up on chores.
So this is what they have to bring in paramilitary police for. This is what they bring chemical warfare to. Love your sign. Good to see you. Oh, how are you? Good, I heard you earlier.
To be a little bit more clean. That's just what I thought of last week. Yeah, no, those are really cool. I was really happy with how the police turned out to me. This is the most we've ever had.
Yeah. So cool. I know, right? Is there anything you want to share?
I don't know about that area, but the area is Oklahoma that I'm
where people make choices for themselves morally and consciously about, you know, how we can honor ourselves with more dignified professions and our skills and gifts in a way. And that's what these police officers are waking up to, is that they are realizing that they are contributing to this system that is funding oppression and continuing that kind of oppression. And it's really something to watch these officers wake up. You know, people talk about spiritual awakenings or moral or conscious awakenings, and part of the work here is doing that, is waking people up in the best way. And here's a woman who really does it. Really does it. Hi. Sorry. You need something? Are you good?
No,
okay.
Just saying hello. I haven't said hello.
I know. Oh, so good to see you. Yeah. Vanessa's killing it here. She's, you know, amazing. There's a lot of really heartfelt, special people here this evening.
I met him at the Climate Reality training. He's on the sea shepherd, so he does a lot of protection of our wildlife.
Okay.
Sea shepherd around the world.
Amazing. Yeah. Amazing. So, how are you feeling about this evening? Conflicted. Yeah.
Feels like the elders told us to come back to camp again.
Yeah, I caught that. Yeah, exactly.
We're working on it.
Yeah.
People who are leading this movement are very young, they're learning. We're going from here, we're teaching them what work is like in it, what happened over there. So, it's a learning process, and we'll do better next time.
It is. And every community out there has its own unique needs and actions that are kind of like custom made, designed for what's appropriate to that community. And so that's part of what we're respecting here, is what's appropriate for this community, what the tribe is asking for, that kind of thing, what people are asking for. And
we met with the tribe and they said that they supported us. nonviolent and peaceful. And
exactly.
so as long as that happens, then we're okay. But we shouldn't be telling each other how to do our actions, what to do. That we should remain within ourselves to take the action that we need to do.
Right, right, right. It's true. We're learning, and it's a beautiful thing. It is. It is. Thank you. So Vanessa's definitely one of the people that is really, really touching the hearts of people here, and you know, waking people up. And you can tell that some of these officers are more impacted by this than others emotionally. You know, at Standing Rock, you know, we had some officers, you know, put down their badges or decide like that was their last day and they, you know, quit, that kind of thing, because people are realizing that it's a conflict between their, you know, moral and social consciousness, and that, you know, they could get another job that pays the same amount of money where that isn't causing them anxiety and, you know, something that's not in alignment with their social and moral beliefs. just can't help but watch this and think to myself, what an amazing juxtaposition of people and, you know, the human factor of being authentic and needing each other and humanity, and this machine right here, and the contrast of the songs being sung and the mechanical noises coming out of this crane. It pretty much sums it up. So hopefully the police officers won't be coming out in their full paramilitary gear as they are down here around the way in their paddy wagon. You know, I would guess that that's not going to come to be this evening. We do have Cairo 7 News. So obviously it's getting a little bit of attention if one of the major news stations is showing up, so that's interesting. Yeah. So that's so I mean, everyone's within their rights here. We're on the sidewalk. They, you know, willingly got off of the machinery. So it doesn't seem like anything would escalate in that respect. But I'm walking back down here now to where the police are in their riot gear, and just gonna take a peek and see if they've changed their positions or if it's the same. So, you know, just gotta check. But it was interesting earlier when they pulled Danny off of the crane and took him down to the ground, and we were right there and we were like, whoa, back off, and Ray and myself and a couple other people were like, hey, let him go, and like, you know, they had his arms and he was flat on his back and they were over him. So, you know, that's not like the greatest example of de-escalation, because we were kind of like, hey, you know, but like still we unarrested him, you know, like they had him, they were gonna, you know, do what they were gonna do there. I mean, I don't know if they would have actually arrested him, but they were at least gonna like really make a point. But that's how you can kind of deal with it, you know, if that does happen, if you're ever in a scenario like that. So, okay, yeah, okay, I'm gonna flip this around because I'm back here at the gate, like I was earlier, and there they are. Mm-hmm. So they don't have their helmets on anymore, which is good because it's not necessary. But they're all just chilling back there. I mean, that whole bus, that whole mini bus back there came in, and it was full of police. So I mean, I'm guessing, you know, 12 or something along those lines, maybe more. And you know, you saw all the other officers up there earlier too. So it's good that we're doing this right now, though, because it's sending a message. Like us watching them and videoing this is making them very uncomfortable, and it's good. It's reminding them that people are watching them, and that any sort of police brutality won't be tolerated, and for surely will be documented. So, but it's interesting how they've hid, and you know, in this way over here. But hopefully they're done. Okay, so on that note, I'll walk back down here one more time, but I think I'm kind of done too. It's late. But it's a good thing, you know, and I think that you know, it's all progress in that respect. So, but freaking amazing to have everyone here this evening. There's lots of people that were at Standing Rock.
Yes.
Thank you for...
Everybody should come, because if not, the children's children are going to die and that's going to be on their soul. So don't say you love God and don't help your children. Put it into action.
Put it into action.
Put it into action. Stand the hell up.
Thank you. Much love. Put it into action. So people are heading home for tonight, but we're remembering that, you know, action's necessary, and that's where our power lies, is in peaceful, prayerful, and organized direct action, where we really flex the muscle of people power. If that means unarresting someone, if that means shutting something down, we all have the power to do that in a good way, with the best intentions, with a pure heart, and to stand together. Because one of the things I've learned this year is that there is safety in numbers. When you have lots of people show up and turn out, that's when people don't get brutalized. We keep each other safe. So this is one of the major Seattle news stations that have shown up.
Instructed to care for every living thing until the end of time, and that's what we've been doing. That still lives in our hearts, and we are here to stand in absolute solidarity with the Puyallup Nation. This land that we're on, we're all guests on their land, and they're building this pipeline, an LNG pipeline that is methane based. Methane has 80 times the effect on the climate, 80 times for the CO2. 80 times the sickness and the pollution and the toxicity for our climate. And our climate is suffering. If you look at the South Sea right now, we've got sea stars that are melting, acidification. The shell life has paper thin shells. We touch them and they can crush. And the salmon, where are the salmon? The kokali, the orcas, they're dying. They're starving to death. And people are, we are to lay complacent today, as the colonial world is laid complacent with the government's abuse to all living things, to have no peace with any living thing, including human beings here. To have that kind of complacency has brought us to this place today, right now, where we have only 3% of our forests, of real forests, I mean ecosystems. We have 5% of natural animals. Yeah. Instructed also to stay in prayer. And so when we sing these songs, all time comes together. Our ancestors come to us. Right now, that storm comes. We're here, and our future generations come to us, and they're crying out, and they're saying, build a future for us. And so that's why when we pray, everything comes together. And when we stand together as a human family, we are strong. The government tore us apart. The government did their best to tear us apart, and they would not let us even come together in a circle to sing songs, because they know how powerful we are when we come together as human beings. And tonight, we stopped these guys. We were instructed to move away and by the nation that's here, so we did, because we need to honor the people of this land, as these people here, as the U.S. government and Canadian government and these corporations, mixed with these corporations, are not honoring and listening to the voice of the people of the land, whether they are indigenous or not, because there are so many people here that are from all worlds. We are all in the sea of community. We don't do this for our own children. We do this for, we spoke as we prayed. We said, we pray for your children too, and your grandchildren. And the water that you drink, we're praying for the very water that you are consuming right now and that you will consume in the future. We pray for all of those things. And it's not about a skin color. It's not just about being indigenous, but it's about having a future for even your children, these people who are listening, to have a future for them to consciously create a future for them, because they are crying out to us, and if we do not build that bridge to the future, they will suffer like no one suffered on this earth. We know it in our hearts, and we have to.
I did hear you guys sing. I was parked 2 blocks away. I did sing. I didn't know what the fuck those were about.
Those are all personal.
Was there anybody? Nobody was
So love everything you do.
Oh, sorry.
Keep working hard.
Nice guy. Yeah. You too. Keep up the good work.
Oh, Paul Wagner, everybody. Paul is amazing.
So why don't you come meet me in the fucking market? Yeah.
Lot of love. Lot of love here.
No. Yeah, those.
I don't know where to go.
Sorry.
The tunnel so it doesn't collapse. I'll go swimming.
Okay, everybody, I'm gonna call it a night. It looks like this will probably just wind down in this sort of a way, which is great. You know, I think that there's all kinds of actions, and this is an example of one of them. You know, and how to do that sort of work as far as nonviolent direct action and having it be Indigenous led. You know, by the Puyallup, the people of the Puyallup here that were leading, you know, quite a few different people from Indigenous tribes and allies from all over. So, and like Paul was saying, you know, this is for everybody. You know, coming together as a community and really supporting each other, because you know this kind of stuff, it's absolutely toxic, and we're already all so sick with cancers and illnesses, and you know, Indigenous people are disproportionately diagnosed with health issues because of things like micro leaks on reservations, and you know, like the whole history of the uranium mines, and you know, it's environmental racism, and this is another example of it here in Washington State. You know, very close to, you know, the ever so progressive Seattle, and you know, yet here we are fighting the same fight, and people are fighting this fight for clean water and land rights now more than ever in the Trump administration, and a lot of our protections have, you know, been dropped. So, you know, we can really do things on a local level, and this is where direct action, sitting in, you know, on a pipeline like this, or you know, really going after bank divestment with shutting banks down and boycotting them and getting institutions to divest large funds. You know, all of that is making an impact, and that is truly being heard. You know, as a vibration coming off of what happened at Standing Rock. And that's why it's true when people say, you know, Standing Rock has awakened the world, because that is the eco-consciousness, you know, the moral, socially responsible aspect, where we as a country and as a world are really starting to wake up and be like, okay, I am part of this. I mean, one of the things that I work with people in psychology is you know, in you know, contemporarily, like right now, is mostly people are having existential crises about who are they, what are they doing, what is their meaning in life, and you know, what is our existence worth. And this really relates back to it. And people have so much anxiety right now. There are more people seeking mental health right now because of what's going on politically and with the environment and all of those stresses than any point in history. So people are experiencing anxiety, depression, you know, all insomnia, you know, all of those symptoms and stuff that come from the stress of this imbalance. So, you know, we see, you know, how this is enacted on a big global level, on a national level, within our states and communities and families, and on a personal level. So we're affected by this on, you know, the macro, meso, micro, all of it, you know. So, and all of this is really a freaking, I'm just frustrated, I guess. But I think people are waking up. I think it's really important work, and you know, it's good stuff. It is. And you know, working with the officers, educating them, you know, seeing how, you know, like these guys right here, just me being here and talking about them and having this experience of them watching me watch them, you know, that influences them, and they're asking themselves morally, you know. And so that's what all of those people were doing, you know, like Sierra and Ale, you know, like they're standing down there doing the same thing. And you know, we look into these people's eyes and ask them, are you on the right side of history? You know, is this worth it? And again, is this where our taxpayer money should be going, where these police officers are acting as private security for fossil fuels? It looks like this is very much going to be the story for the rest of the evening. So I'm going to sign off because I'm getting very tired. But I just wanted to give you guys a little bit of insight into what this has turned out through, how this has turned out through the evening. And kind of just how it's going to continue to go with being a prayer and ceremony.